Welcome to Wicked Majesty. Hello and welcome to the Wicked Majesty channel. In tonight's video, we're diving deeper into the spine-chilling horror story, Demon Child. This is part 2 of the story where we'll continue to uncover terrifying events that unfolded in the lives of our protagonist. If you are a fan of horror or the supernatural, then you won't want to miss this. So sit back, turn off the lights, and get ready to be scared as we explore the world of Demon Child.
There was someone on the road. As soon as May saw the person, she turned the steering wheel, trying to avoid them. She was able to go around the person, but was unable to control the car. They crashed into a tree by the side of the road. They were driving fast, and the impact was so hard that it killed May on the spot, left Natalie unconscious. A while later, when Natalie regained consciousness, she had severe pain in her head and stomach. Her head was bleeding, and she started to look around, unable to understand what had happened. She turned towards May, started to shake her and wake her up. It was difficult with all the pain. It took a while for Natalie to realize that May had died. She started to cry and didn't know what to do. Then Natalie heard her phone ringing. She found her phone. Matthew was calling her.
Hello? Honey? Where are you? I've been trying to reach you for so long. May's phone is also off. So where are you guys?
Said Matthew. May's dead! There was an accident! We're down by the forest road! Said Natalie as she cried. As she finished her sentence, she saw that same person again in the middle of the road, this time walking towards her. Matthew, it's him again! The guy from last time, you have to come right now! Natalie said as she tried to unbuckle her seatbelts and get out of the car. She got out of the car and started to crawl on the road, trying to get away from it. It came closer and closer to her, and eventually, it was standing right behind her. Natalie started to cry in hopelessness, as she was in pain and afraid beyond compare. She looked at the demon, and there he was with his burnt face, his body rotten away, its big eyes without eyelids staring at her. She could see the horror in its face, the fear of dying, the fear of not seeing her husband again, the fear of not being able to see her child. All of it had crossed through Natalie's mind. Please don't hurt me. Let me go. Please, cried Natalie. The demon stood there silently. It didn't move, not an inch. Natalie, on the ground, shaking in fear, unable to move, and frozen in her tracks. Then, after a while, he replied in a demonic voice that would scare even the strongest of hearts.
We are the cursed ones. We are the ones who live in the darkness around us. We feed on the fear of the weak. We rejoice in the torture of souls.
What do you want from me? Shouted Natalie in despair.
A sacrifice of pure blood
replied the demon. "Take whatever you want. Just leave me alone, please!" cried Natalie. Natalie covered her face, unaware of what had happened. Fog covered the place, and when Natalie opened her eyes, she was all alone, all the road. She started to look around, tried to get up, thinking what had happened and if it was true or not. Then she heard someone call her name. It was Matthew. As soon as she saw him, she started to cry. Matthew picked her up and took her to the hospital. Natalie gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Still in shock of what had happened, she could not be completely happy for her daughter, as life was taken that night with a new one given. It had been 16 years since the incident had happened. Natalie had forgotten all about that night as life moved on. Matthew got a better job, and Gwen had grown up to become a beautiful girl and was halfway through high school. She wasn't like most high school students, interested more in her studies than boys, yet popular in her school, participating in almost every school event. You could say she was the perfect student. Natalie and Matthew were proud of their daughter. They were happy, and you could almost say they were the perfect family. It was Gwen's 17th birthday, and her parents had planned a surprise birthday party for her, inviting all of her friends and close family. Everyone had an amazing time. When the party was over, Gwen and her friends decided to go out for a drive. They were all having fun, joking around during the drive. After a while, they reached the forest road. Gwen's friends decided to go for a walk in the forest, and told not to go in the forest since she was young. Gwen at first was hesitant and denied going in, but her friends forced her into coming, and they went into the forest, not knowing what waited for them in there. As they walked around the forest, Gwen started to become uneasy. At first, she didn't say anything, just walked around with her friends. A while later, as everyone got tired, sat beneath a tree for a while, evening struck. After that, Gwen started to feel a little suffocation. "Guys, I think we should leave. I'm not feeling okay," said Gwen. "Come on, a little while longer," said one of her friends jokingly. "They say if you stay in the forest for long, you start to see ghosts, and they talk to you." "Not funny at all," replied Gwen. They sat there, and as it started to get dark, and everyone started to get bored, they started to head out. As they started walking, Gwen saw someone in the distance, standing still, staring at them. At first, she thought that she was seeing things, ignored them, and moved forward. As they got a little further, she started to see that someone again. They were a little closer this time, enough for her to identify that it was a man.
Thank you for watching part 2 of Demon Child on the Wicked Majesty channel. I hope you enjoyed this spine-chilling horror story. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell to be notified when I release new videos. Come back next Friday for the final part of Demon Child. Until next time, sleep tight, don't let the shadows bite.